What? Hi, Mark.
Hi, Flora.
Hi. So apologies for the delay. We encountered a few technical issues.
It's okay. It's Cyber Monday, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just double check if we are live. All right. We're live. Hello, everybody. This is our live Q&A that we've prepared for everyone. My name is Flora, and I'll be your moderator for this Q&A today. That means you'll be spending time with me for the next 30 or so minutes. I hope you guys are ready for that. Just a reminder, this is an interactive event, so please note that at the end of the Q&A, we will be answering some of your questions. And so you can start sending us your questions in the chat as of right now. So now to introduce the guest, we'll be answering all of our SOLUM and ESL related questions. I'm very fortunate to be here today with our very own Mark Duckworth. He's the SOLUM country manager for several countries, including the UK, Ireland, and Australia. So he's talking with us live from the UK right now. Before we get to the Q&A, would you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mark?
Yeah, hi everyone. Well, as per the introduction, really, I'm Mark. I look after all SOLUM activity in the UK, Ireland, and Australia. I've been involved in the world of ESL for about 6 years and watched it grow and evolve over those sort of 6 years to a sort of stage where it's sort of unrecognizable to as it was when I first started, really. I think it's not nowadays. It's not just about the technology, though. It's about the benefit to making a difference to consumers and customers, whether they be a retailer or an industrial customer as such. We have tens of millions of labels deployed worldwide. We have strong partnerships with our customers, and I think that's predominantly bound out as to what we're seeing in the change in the ESL world about becoming a lot more there's a lot more user cases for interaction with customers. So I'm really pleased to be here and helping out. Thank you. Sorry about the delay in getting going.
Yes, we're very pleased to have you. So
my pleasure.
We're also very glad to be celebrating Cyber Monday with everybody, including you, Mark, especially you. So thank you for that introduction. Being the country manager for several locations, Mark has substantial experience regarding anything related to ESLs, as well as the technology surrounding the industry. So for the next half hour, we will get to pick your brain, Mark. Let's start. We've prepared a few questions for you today, and after this, you'll be answering audience questions. So that's going to be fun. This is a reminder again to everyone to send their questions in the chat, whether that be on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. So to start with, can you please tell us a little about how electronic shelf labels work?
Okay, so in its simplest format, a pricing or a product system is fed into our SOLUM software. The software then generates and sends an image through some gateways in the ceiling, then directly down to the shelf edge label itself. That whole process takes around about 15 seconds. So once the label's been updated and completed its action, it sends a signal back to our software to say I've completed it. So ultimately, at any one stage, any action or request that you make of the labels, you will have feedback to know that it's been completed. Software can either sit locally in every store, it can sit centrally on a customer's network, or it can sit in our cloud SaaS model, and we maintain it from there. The gateways work off Wi-Fi bandwidth, but our gateways can make that up to 60 channels. We also have auto channel selection, which means we can choose the least path of resistance to increase that update speed. Newton labels then that we're communicating with, we have our very own sort of unique special protocol that sits inside of the labels, increasing battery life and the update speed. And the range of labels really comes from a very small 1.6 inch label all the way through to a sort of 11.6 A4 size promotional type label that a customer might want to use. We have labels for normal shelf edge products. We have labels for fashion industry, clothing items, or individual labels. We have labels for industrial warehousing and logistics. And the fact that we have our own manufacturing facility means that we can take on board customers' requests, and we can even potentially look at a bespoke solution for them. I mentioned about the battery life though, and based on a couple of updates a day, our labels can last for up to 10 years before needing the batteries replaced. So again, it's I won't say it's a simple technology but it's not, but it's all around automating price or product information to what has traditionally been a paper label.
Basically, it's not a simple technology, but it makes things simple for
Correct.
the client.
Correct.
All right. So the next question would be: Would it be possible for you to enumerate some pain points that the ESLs can solve for clients?
Okay. I mentioned price. I just mentioned about pricing and the verification system. That means that retailers would have a direct, accurate price at the shelf edge between that and the till system. So customers wouldn't be going to the till and paying the incorrect price or not knowing the price of a product. Or in most cases now, just having the confidence that what the price that you see at the shelf edge is actually what you'll pay when you get to the till. Sometimes that's not always been the case. Adaptive pricing and margin means that, previously that whole change of a pricing process can take so long and have such a labor intensive aspect to it that we can now fully automate that. So if you think about a retailer who has, I don't know, let's say 600 stores and wants to do 10 promotional items, that's a real sort of juggernaut of a process to make that happen. Putting it plain and simple, right now we could do that in 600 stores within 30 seconds. Wow. So that's a very powerful message. We can also do things like we can start to interact with customers more at the shelf edge. So whereas if you think about going into an electronics store, for example, we might go in there, and I'm possibly talking about personal experience here, but when I see a product and I quite like it and I want to find out more information about it, generally I'll get out my smartphone and first thing I'll do is either Google it or search for it, or which inevitably then takes me out of that retail store journey. We can use NFC and QR codes and multiple pages on a label now to try and keep that customer in store journey or direct them somewhere where we want them to go. So again, more sort of, I suppose the other one is around like inefficient processes. So where we might have click and pick, whether that be in industrial or whether it might be in sort of grocery retail or any other retail really. Processes like that, whereby we can actually speed up that process by using the label as part of the click and pick element of that scenario of collecting items as I go round. And also then if I need stock replenishment, I can use the label to generate stock replenishment orders, or even directly connected into a back office system to actually order the products themselves. So again, those are just a few of the current pain points that, but there's many ways that the electronic shelf label can now help people.
Wow, from 600 stores in 30 seconds, that's insane. I wonder
Well,
how
I
people
think,
survive this order.
the sort of, the retail market and the industrial market is all around getting the right information to the customer in the fastest time. Being of my age, I've very often seen online offers only, and actually when I go into a shop to see the product I want to buy, I don't really want to know that it's cheaper if I would have actually sat at home and not even gone and looked at the products. And that's not what retailers need. Retailers need customers coming into the store and upscaling purchases and seeing other products. So if our product can help a retailer connect the online journey, e-commerce to in store, then actually that's a really powerful way of doing things without having to continually reprint labels and go and put them on the shelf and make sure that they're there, don't really know if they're there. So now we can change the price online and within seconds it appears in the store. So that's that's another positive to the solution.
Accuracy, speed, customer journey. That's a lot of birds with one stone.
Yeah, for sure.
So, keeping within the theme of Cyber Monday, can we also talk about how electronic shelf labels are helpful for retailers specifically in the electronics space?
Okay, so well, like I said, right. Okay, so Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they're not one-off events, right? They're not one-day events. These events take months of planning, months of organizing, months of preparing, and months of delivering into the stores. So I appreciate that it's Cyber Monday is all around online purchases and driving activity, but the reality is again, current climate aside, actually what we're trying to do here is to ensure that when we go into a store, we've got that Cyber Monday offer is available in front of us. So we can help reduce the impact of these one-day events by saying, actually, if I have too much stock of a product, I can sell it in the store. I can sell it on. I don't only have to sell it online to clear an item out. I can clear it, by having accurate pricing between online and in store. If it's just electronics information, again, I mentioned about electronics information, we can use the label to generate more information. So as actually, I don't need, I don't need the internet as much while I'm physically in a store.
Because that takes them out of the customer experience, right?
Yeah, sure. Look, all joking aside, if I go into a store and I search for a product online and I see it 20% cheaper somewhere else, chances are I might go and do that. Whereas if I can see, what's even more infuriating for a brand is that if I can see it 10-20% cheaper on their own site. So, this has an impact on, how shopping behavior, and having an ESL which has an attached price online to the store, then, it breeds that brand loyalty and that comfort and confidence in that brand.
Those are all very enlightening answers, Mark. Thank you so much. So
No
now,
worries.
while our social media moderators are compiling all the questions from the audiences, I'll take this time to give a little background on our company and give you a little breather as well.
Thanks.
Also, yeah, I'll have to play a video. Hold on, we're going to be playing a video now. That was a sneak preview. For those who are not familiar with the technology, that was our electronic shelf labels. So now I shall be giving a bit of a background on our company. Solum has been in the electronic shelf label business since, guess how far back? The company was part of Samsung's electromechanics sector ever since its incorporation in 2007. So that's 13 unbeatable years of experience in the industry. But before the ESL came to light, Samsung's 45 years of knowledge with wireless communication technologies was passed on to SOLUM. And this technical excellence has led to the installation of more than 100 million ESLs in 8,000 plus stores in over 35 countries. That's basically all over the world. Um, Solum has supplied ESLs for top retailers like Loblaws, Amazon, Alibaba, Lowe's, and Macy's, to name a few. Solum has also improved the production capacity for industrial clients this time, not limited to the retail sector. So companies like Volkswagen, BMW, Diebold Nixdorf, and Bosch, to name a few. And you want to know something else? Solum believes in investing heavily into research, design, and production development. This enables the company to develop and sustain long-lasting relationships with clients and strategic partners across the globe, especially since we're the only supplier, as Mark mentioned previously, with our own manufacturing facilities, having a large factory in Vietnam. This gives the company a unique leverage, which is shorter development time, highest quality control standards, an optimized supply chain, and most of all, maximized cost competitiveness, which the client, of course, will inevitably enjoy. Just wanted to mention this. For questions and pricing requests, kindly go to the following webpage and fill out your details. The URL is solumesl/Cyber Monday 2020. We will be posting this link later on in our social media accounts, so please watch out for that so you can send your inquiries to that link. All right, so now it's time for the fun part for Mr. Mark Duckworth. We will be giving questions that are coming from our audiences. The first one, how does applying Solum ESL benefit brick and mortar stores that also have online platforms? I think you also touched on this previously.
Yeah, I think it's that the being able to change a price online and directly in the store at the same time, I think is a huge benefit to omni-channel retailers. You know, the impact of that is around productivity, margin enhancement, speed of competition. If you've got two electronics retailers within half a mile and one does 20% off, or laptops, for example, the speed at which a retailer could react with is they could do their own offers if they wanted to. So I think that's, I used to work in the mobile sector many years ago, and we used to send a guy out on a Saturday to run around all the other competitive stores to see what the competition was, to see what we should set our prices at that day. We could only do that for one store. Somebody could do that for every store in the country in seconds. And that's a powerful statement to make about your pricing capability.
So the next question would be, someone wants to understand what all factors need to be considered while making an ROI investment plan for ESLs for a potential retailer.
Sure. Okay. Well, so there's quite a few to mention. We've mentioned a few of them around labor saving, margin enhancement, waste management. There's probably 20 or 30 different return on investment cases. My colleagues and I all over the world will happily sit with a retailer or industrial customer and go through that with them, because ultimately, if you can't build the right return on investment case, then generally you're probably not going to buy it if you can't build the return on investment case. However, I will add to that, in the 6 years I've been involved with ESL, not one customer has rung me up and said, no, can you take them out? I'd rather go back to paper.
So they see the benefit and experience it.
Yeah, right, sure. You might not see it immediately, and some of the return on investment could be tangible. But, once you have the capability and the flexibility to manage your pricing instantly, it changes many aspects of processes and return on investment.
Exactly. Automates everything. Another question from another curious audience member: how does Newton make a better digital signage display than other ESLs?
So we have a higher DPI. So the screen accuracy is better. We can update the labels more often for longer than other ESL vendors. So, and the fact that we can update them more frequently means that it will maintain its image clarity as well.
So just display, we're talking simply about display here, and battery life, of course.
Yeah, sure. If you update, the more you update the label, the bigger impact it has on the battery life. However, with the Newton protocol, as I said, we're seeing expected battery lives of 12 years on some labels that are refreshing twice a day.
So that basically gives the clients, it makes everything cheaper.
Yeah, sure. It lowers that total cost of ownership. Yeah. Alternatively, it enables a retailer to do a lot more with the ESL than they've previously been able to do, and still get an acceptable battery life going forward,
Yeah. I think we've reached the end of the questions. Now we're going to be playing a case study video for our audience.
Okay.
Yeah, that concludes our Cyber Monday Q&A with you, Mr. Duckworth. We hope the audience members learned a few things within this short span of time. Please follow our social media for more useful B2B tech content and also more Q&As like this one. Hopefully, the next one we can have you again with less technical problems.
Yeah, no, that would be good. Thank you. No worries.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. We'll be playing the case study video right after this.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Il y a maintenant quelques semaines, nous avons fait un remodeling de ce magasin. Nous sommes passés avec Toshiba et SOLUM pour les étiquettes électroniques, une solution globale, clé en main, avec une installation faite par Toshiba, un suivi par SOLUM de tout ce qui est positionnement d'étiquettes Ce qui nous a fait choisir SOLUM, contrairement à notre ancien prestataire, c'est d'abord une étiquette esthétiquement bien plus jolie. Mes clients ont été très satisfaits de la visibilité des prix. Les étiquettes de SOLUM ont un avantage qui est énorme par rapport à toutes les autres sur le marché, c'est qu'elles ont un fameux système avec 2 petits boutons en dessous qui nous permettent de pouvoir afficher beaucoup d'informations et de nous donner beaucoup d'informations sur chaque produit. Par exemple, le stock de ce produit, les quantités vendues de ce produit. Et ça nous permet de passer bien moins de temps derrière l'ordinateur, d'avoir l'information en direct sur l'étiquette et donc être capable de commander les produits bien plus facilement. Alors l'intégration informatique s'est passée en étroite collaboration entre les gens de chez Toshiba et les gens de chez Carrefour. Les deux équipes ont travaillé main dans la main et ça s'est passé à merveille. On a eu une intégration vraiment extrêmement facile.
Une nouvelle fois, ce projet a permis à Toshiba de prouver sa capacité à intégrer une solution tierce dans le système d'information d'un client, à savoir le groupe Carrefour. C'est-à-dire, nous avons intégré l'application METI avec la solution SOLUM. Nous avons créé et réalisé le design des templates des étiquettes correspondant aux besoins du groupe Carrefour. Et enfin, nous avons aussi fait le mapping du magasin pour installer au bon endroit les antennes radio permettant de faire communiquer les étiquettes avec le serveur SOLUM Toshiba. À quoi sert-il le PDA? Il a 2 fonctions. De permettre au magasin de réaliser son réapprovisionnement, ses commandes des articles vers les fournisseurs. Il permet d'associer une étiquette SOLUM à un code barre du produit.
Nous avons fermé ce magasin pendant 17 jours. SOLUM et Toshiba devaient être à l'heure et devaient être opérationnels au bout de ces 17 jours. Nous n'avions pas le droit à l'erreur. Ça a été le cas. Nous avons pu ouvrir notre magasin en temps et en heure grâce à Toshiba et SOLUM. Si j'ai un conseil à donner, c'est évidemment étiquette électronique et évidemment SOLUM Toshiba puisque je pense qu'aujourd'hui c'est la meilleure solution sur le marché.